and violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all tell me what this is.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more
store.
do you want from me?
Where it felt like I was being teamed up on. And I didn't.
And guys, I want to stop the brother Kanye here. Kanye, come get a fucking interview. You know what I'm saying? Come get an interview. Let's talk about this shit. And maybe you need me to be your handler because it seems like he don't got no real niggas in his corner. This is an article from December 19th, 2008. 2008. This is from the Los Angeles Times. Los Angeles Times. The question is, who runs Hollywood? Come on. And it's written by Joel Steen. Almost sounds like Joel Osteen, but no, his name is just Joel Steen. And he is a writer for the Los Angeles Times. Obviously, by the name, you can pretty much tell, what crew he's with. He's not set tripping at all. Wow. I mean, this is extremely interesting. Wow. They want to make you look stupid. They want to make you look cuckoo, crazy. That's what they want. They want to laugh at you as the whole world bags on you. This is what, and I'm going to show you a picture of Joel Steen. He actually just wrote a book. And guys, I mean, if you're smart, you will be reading the literature that comes from the small hat community because they're great authors and they write so well and they've got these highly esteemed reviewed books. Okay. So if you're smart, which they don't think you are, if you're smart, you will go read his book. The book is called In Defense of Elitism. And this is what the good man, great man, Joel Steen looks like. Writer for the New York, Los Angeles Times, a published author, New York Times best-selling author, all this kind of stuff. His book is In Defense of Elitism. Are you dumb? Are you stupid? Or are you dumb? That's what he's asking you. As a matter of fact, we can take it even further. We'll read the article. We'll read the goddamn article. This was a long time ago. Long time ago, guys. Are you stupid or are you dumb? Are you stupid or are you dumb? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the brother Stein, however we want to pronounce it. You know, he's an awesome guy. He's on Instagram eating fake tacos, and he's gallivanting with Star Wars at a Star Wars museum and going to football games or baseball games at the LA Dodgers, and living a grand old life on Instagram. So respect to Joel Stein. All right. But this is what you guys need to realize. Let's look at the cover of this book. I'm not making this shit up. This is on his website, thejoelstein.com. thejoelstein.com. They want you to look crazy. They want you to seem stupid. They want to laugh at you. When you're right, they tell you you're wrong. When you're right, they tell you you're left. In Defense of Elitism by Joel Stein. The cover is what appears to be a buck with a top hat, not necessarily a small hat, a bow tie. And it says, why I'm better than you and you are better than someone who didn't buy this book. Okay? So there you have the superiority complex that is, essentially, you can't really say that it's not taught in a certain belief system that individuals, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Hey, shit, you have black supremacists, you've got white supremacists, and then you've got small hat supremacists. The only thing is the small hat supremacists are really good at what they do. The white supremacists, usually they're fucking country ass bumpkins or whatnot, right? Or liberals doing destructive things, but we really don't respect them. Then you have the Joel Steins of the world. Who runs Hollywood? December 19th, 2008, 12 a.m. Pacific time. I'm not making this shit up. You can't make this shit up. And they really had the nerve to question Kanye. This is why, Kanye, you need to come with me, bro. Come with me. Hail Mary. Come with me, Kanye. Because I'm gonna give you the shit that you need to be looking at. Let's read this article. Joel Stein. The title of the article: Who runs Hollywood? Come on. In a condescending way. That's exactly how they wanted you to read it. Who runs Hollywood? Like some dumb bitch from the background. Who really runs Hollywood? Bitch. Come on. That is the undertone. That's the undertone. That's the sarcastic, condescending mentality that is being used in this article, in this specific article. I'm not saying that's what every individual in this group has. But listen up. Who runs Hollywood? Bitch, come on. I'm sorry, I like doing that. I have never been so upset by a poll in my life. This is coming from Joel Stein, who thinks he's better than you, and anybody who bought his book is better than everyone else. Only 22% of Americans now believe the movie and television industries are pretty much run by Jews. And I'm only saying the J word because this is what he wrote in his article. So I don't want to misquote him and say, hey, well, this article is fake news because you said small house instead of Jews. Down from nearly 50% in 1964. The Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, who just refused $500,000 of Kyrie Irving's money, which released the poll results last month, sees in these numbers a victory against stereotyping. And guess what the small hats think about that? Actually, it just shows how dumb America has gotten. Jews totally run Hollywood. Wow. If this isn't a fucking, and we love them, right? We love them. It's almost to the fact that They want us to praise them, to lick their boots, maybe, to kiss their feet. Have nothing but respect for them at all. You know, there's not a foul thing that I can say. I'm reading Joel Stein's words. He said, how deeply Jewish is Hollywood? Wow. I mean, they just said how deeply Jewish is Hollywood. I mean, that's a crazy question. When the studio chiefs took out, hold on, let me go back. Actually, let me go back. We got to run it back. We got to run it back.
I keep telling you, consciousness over coochie, politics over punani.
He said he's upset by this poll that Americans are less anti-Semitic than they were. They're less anti-Semitic today in 2008 than they were in 1964. I have never been so upset by a poll in my life. Only 22% of Americans now believe the movie and television industries are pretty much run by Jews. Down from nearly 50% in 1964, the Anti-Defamation League, which released the poll results last month, sees in these numbers a victory against stereotyping Hollywood. Yeah. Actually, it just shows how dumb America has gotten. Jews totally run Hollywood. They're calling you dumb. How deeply Jewish is Hollywood? When the studio chiefs took out a full-page ad in the Los Angeles Times a few weeks ago to demand that the Screen Actors Guild settle its contract, the open letter was signed by News Corporation President Peter Chernin, who is Jewish. Peter Chernin. Okay. And we have to put a face to these names, guys. I'm not trying to out them. I'm not trying to dox them. I'm putting a face to a name. So when they say you're anti-Semitic, I'm going to say, well, Peter Chernin begs to differ. He says I'm not anti-Semitic enough. Uh-oh. Joel Steen said, you dumbass. You don't know that Jews run Hollywood? I mean, they're slapping it in your face. Smacking you in the face. So this is Peter Chernin. Shout out to him. If you got a job for me, bruh, I promise I ain't gonna crash out like Kanye. You dig? Paramount Pictures chairman Brad Gray. Okay. So we have the president of News Corp, the chairman of Paramount Pictures, whose app sucks. Their movie app absolutely sucks. It's not worth the fucking $9.99 that they charge you a month. Ask me how I know, because I'm actually watching a really famous series on that app. So here we have Brad Gray, Juice Crew. Putting faces to names is what I'm about. We're not singling out a whole ethnic group or religion or anything like that. We are calling out individuals. And this is from a small hat, aka Jewish writer for the Los Angeles Times, and he's telling you dumbasses in your face like he called you. I didn't call you a dumbass. I think you guys are very intelligent and very smart. As a matter of fact, I would say you're sapiosexuals, right? But these bitches be putting in their bio, I'm a sapiosexual. So I would say that you guys are really smart. He's calling you guys the dumbasses, not me. FM Zio with the 199 Super Trap says, Juice Crew is on one. They have too much power.
Oh, say that.
Yeah, you know, and this is not coming from me. This is coming from Joel Stein. I'm not saying that they have too much power. Joel Stein is saying that they have all of the power. It's not just too much, it's just all of it. It is what it is, okay? We have to live with that respectfully. And I'm just doing this for historical purposes. This is not, and I have to keep saying it, I don't intend to incite hate speech. I don't intend to incite any radicalization on my channel. So if you with the bullshit, with the violent shit, get the fuck out. All right? So that's my disclaimer. Nobody do nothing to nobody. Since you got to say that. Or otherwise it's hate speech. All right, shout out to Battle Elf with the $5 super trap. He says, smacking you in the face with their egg-shaped penis.
Damn!
Yeah, and I mean, ask Ice Cube. Ask Ice Cube who owns the rights to next Friday. Ask Ice Cube who owns the rights to next Friday. They said, nigga, you ain't putting no movie out unless we say so, bitch, nigga. Right or wrong? He said it right there in the Drink Champs interview, but they didn't take that one down. I wonder why. If you wish upon a star, looking ass niggas. Y'all are begging. Begging. And you know what? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Give me a piece of that pie, my nigga, because we starving out here. Shout out, so the rest of the article, Walt Disney co-chief executive Robert Iger. So this is the co-chief executive. I mean, there's too many to name. I'm not going to go. Y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. But let me tell you what, all of these small hat individuals, none of them are going to be black. None of them are going to be Ethiopian. None of them are going to be Arab. I mean, isn't that interesting that we just defined what Semitic people were, and none of these individuals look Semitic? Respectfully. Sony Pictures chairman Michael Linton is, surprise, a Dutch Jew. Okay. As we saw that Soros was a Hungarian Jew. So there are different Jews from each country, for sure. There are Ethiopian Jews as well, but which we don't ever talk about. Warner Bros. Chairman Barry Meyer, Jewish. CBS Corp. Chief Executive Leslie Moons, so Jewish, his great uncle was the first prime minister of Israel. And I'm not making this up. This is not a joke. This is not my words. This is Joan's words. Oh, Lord, have mercy. We going down a loophole today, and I don't know if I'm going to regret it. Jesus, this might have to go on Patreon. Okay, Warner Brothers chairman Barry Meyer. Okay, so we read that. So you have CBS Corp. Chief Executive Leslie Moons. He's so Jewish that his great uncle was the first prime minister of Israel. Isn't that insane? And how was Israel formed? Let me know, guys. Let me know. MGM chairman Harry Sloan, Jewish. NBC Universal Chief Executive Jeff Zucker, mega Jewish. I'm not saying this. And I didn't know there was levels to this Jewish shit. How can somebody be more Jew than the other? Respectfully, with all...
So it is what it is.
What's good, cyberspace? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video. So, guys, we have to review this Kanye Timcast thing. Oh man, it's crazy. But before I get into it, I kind of want to give you guys an update on my situation with Black Gen Z. I actually thought I was banned for 1 week. I'm actually banned for 2 weeks, and I'm at risk of losing my channel with another copyright strike. So I've been going back and forth with not a copyright strike, but a community guideline strike. I've been going back and forth with YouTube, I guess a YouTube representative or whatnot, who is pretty much in charge of my channel and monitoring it, if you will. And there are a lot of inconsistencies going on with this YouTube shit. Let's see. Let's see. So basically here, we'll get into this. So I sent them a video that I had posted on YouTube on my backup channel that basically it got a warning. It received a community guideline warning. I appealed it. I sent this 750 worded, couple paragraphs or whatnot, and refuted the warning or whatever they were giving me. And they said, oh, well, we made a mistake. Your appeal is granted. Mind you, this is the same exact video that I got demonetized for, or where I got my second community guideline strike for. This is the same exact video. Okay. So I was gonna share the emails, but it's just like too much personal information. But I'm going back and forth with the YouTube execs about Black Gen Z, guys. I'm trying to keep the channel up, but we'll see. We'll see. I couldn't post for 2 weeks. There's no monetization on the channel, no super traps, anything like that. So hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App. I definitely want to figure out how to get the PayPals and the Cash App integrated to like the StreamYard joint so that y'all could, still see the messages that are coming through. But I don't know. We'll figure it out later. But I did want to talk about Sneako. I wanted to talk about Kanye going on Timcast. Okay, so this is my thing. I've already been very critical of the way that Kanye is doing his press run in the media. He's not doing a very good job, and let me tell you why. Because he's literally spazzing out like a little kid, like a childish kid, and not having the conversation. And then I think he's going into a lot of these conversations with no type of precedent. The thing is, when you're going to talk about something like the quote unquote small hat conspiracy, and I'm saying quote unquote, okay, using it loosely with a grain of salt, obviously for YouTube purposes, but you got to have some names, and he was dropping names. He dropped Harley Pasternak, which we're going to do a longer breakdown on Harley Pasternak. Obviously, he actually has ties to some type of Canadian military psyop situation. But, Kanye's definitely onto something. He's hovering above the target, but he really doesn't understand the root of the issue. And I think that that's his main issue. And then a lot of times he's not willing to have the conversation, as you can see on Timcast, where if you disagree with him, then it's a problem. Kanye, you have to present the facts. You're going to have to talk to people like you're on a third grade, or they're on a third grade level and they have no idea what you're talking about. Otherwise, they won't get it. So, like, for instance, the video that just premiered that I showed you guys earlier from my previous live, the most exclusive religion on earth. All right. And that video, let's see, that is a YouTube video that I posted that we went live on about a couple of weeks ago before I was demonetized. And the video was called "The Most Exclusive Religion on Earth. Why don't white Jews accept black Jews into their religion?" Okay. It's got 1K views so far on Black Gen Z Mindset. And I basically broke down the relationship between the Hebrew Israelites and all that kind of stuff. And then I kind of gave validity to what Kanye was saying, because he was talking about the small hat situation and how they were pretty much controlling the narrative when it comes to the media. So what we're going to do now is we are going to break down this Sneako video, because
he met Kanye and whatnot, and you know, obviously he's been rocking with Nick Fuentes, but he met Kanye, and he's doing. I ain't gonna lie, he's doing some major dick riding. He's doing some major dick riding, and I don't think that Kanye is well versed in this conversation, because if he wasn't, then he wouldn't have had to grab, or if he was, he wouldn't have had to grab Nick Fuentes. Okay. So this is what you guys have to understand. Kanye, he has a feeling, but he doesn't really have any facts. Okay. Except that little Excel sheet where he has the quote unquote red media. And I don't think and then he also needs to do more prefacing, like say, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with this particular group, you know, controlling the media, but I think that we need to have more diversity and representation, because that's what they're putting in the media. I mean, he could frame it in a way that is more palatable, but I don't think he's doing so. And then I think Sneako is hitching his wagon to Kanye because he's his favorite artist, without really looking into Kanye. Okay, Kanye, the same Kanye who's doing the Sunday service, who's inviting you know, guys like Marilyn Manson and Justin Bieber to Sunday service. It's just not a good look. Okay, to bring a Satanist to Sunday service makes you think that the Sunday service thing has ulterior motives. But anyways, let us get into the Sneako video, where he's doing a little too much dick riding for my liking. And I've always felt like Sneako was, you know, he's young, and you know, I've kind of felt like that he's a follower, and I don't think that he should really hitch his wagon to Kanye, because Kanye is your friend today and he's not your friend the next day. So anyways, let's watch.
You're wrong. Even if everyone is trying to ruin your reputation, if you know your intentions are good, God will reward you. And in a way, if you've been watching me for a long time, you know that I'm not being melodramatic. Meeting Ye is everything. Now I have this opportunity and I'm going to take it. And I know that it's my life's purpose, that this is the reason that I'm here. And it's everything that I care about is to fight and dismantle the New World Order and to wake people up, to spread the truth. And
okay, so he says to fight and dismantle the New World Order. Look, bro, I know he's young. I know he's got these aspirations, bro. You can for sure talk shit, you know, present media and whatnot. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is an unwinnable battle. Now, obviously, you can, you know, be a truther and exposés and all that kind of stuff, whatever you plan on doing, waking people up, as he says. But at the end of the day, they're gonna cut your mic off, and that's what they're doing to Kanye. That's what they're doing to me. That's what they're doing to pretty much everybody who's speaking the truth. So, you know, I'm not really mad that he's. I mean, I'm not mad at him at all. I just don't agree that he should be hitching his wagon to Kanye and be looking up to Kanye as if he's, you know, some type of you know, some type of god, some guy who's like really well versed in any specific field besides making beats and saying some bullshit on the track, you know. But I do love Kanye's music and all this kind of stuff, but I'm not trying to say all his shit is bullshit, but a lot of it is bullshit. And I think Sneako's getting into he's getting to a point where he's looking very much like a follower. And I think he needs to kind of be taking a leadership role in this situation if he's going to involve himself in Kanye, with Kanye. Like, he needs to be a guy who's going to be able to calm Kanye down and tell him, no, you're wrong, bro. You're wrong for walking out of Tim Pool. You're wrong. But what is he doing? He's doubling down. Oh, Tim Pool, da 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 da. And look, I know guys don't like Tim Pool for some reason. I don't agree with him on everything. But the thing that makes me, you know, feel that Tim Pool is definitely legit
is he got Luke Radowski of We Are Change on his channel. And that dude I know for 100% is legit. But yeah, Sneako is doing way too much dick riding for my liking. Let's see what y'all talking about. Sour Sherry says, I feel sorry for Sneako. Nick Fuentes may be the final nail in Sneako coffin. Nick is despicable to most conservatives. Yeah, I haven't been too crazy in the Nick Fuentes rabbit hole, but I've seen some clips, and he does a little extra. Jay Lou says, it's pretty obvious Kanye is truly in a genuine bipolar, manic depressive cycle. I'm sure the divorce thing is part of this. And in my opinion, the doctors of the world knew just exactly how to push Kanye over the edge. Nah, I 100% agree, bro. I 100% agree. Oh, shout out to my guy, Minister Jap. He says, what's good, family? Keep pushing. Yes, sir. Got to keep pushing. Even though the social media oligarchs are definitely coming out with a foot on niggas' necks. Hot Black Desiato says, Nick comes off as an ass too often for my taste. Yeah, like he definitely comes with that condescending vibe. He definitely comes with that like I know more than you, I'm smarter than you vibe. But also when he did the interview with No Jumper, he really presented like a likable version. Now I know on his own show he cuts up and whatnot, and I haven't watched enough to really give my like final take on him. But I have seen the clips that I've seen were like pretty funny and outlandish. But at the same time, you know, some things he could have definitely worded better, I guess, to make it not seem like he was as quote unquote racist as they say that he is. I don't really think that he's racist. I think that he's like one of those guys who has the facts and is going to rub it in your face type of dude. Which, you know, we kind of do over here as well. But then we also engage in healthy dialogue and conversation, which I think that he does too when he's debating. On his own show, though, he does cut up, which is fine. I don't know what he got banned for initially. It is what it is. It is what it is. And then I think there was another thing. I mean, we've done a podcast on the Nick Fuentes situation already, where he basically said if the white, well, he didn't say it, but they basically caught him in a verbal trap. I can't really go back and remember exactly everything that happened, but I know he was caught up in a few scandals and got entrapped into a couple scandals where he, you know, said some shit that pretty much got him canceled. But when it comes to Sneako, like I said, I like him. I really don't like the fact that he's hitching his wagon to Kanye, because bro, Kanye is, I can see you like being homies with the nigga and all that shit, but that nigga is spiraling, bro. And I don't know if he thinks he's gonna get a music career from Kanye, but Kanye has no pull no more. Like, nobody's answering Kanye's phone call. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's answering Kanye's phone call. Guys, we're streaming on Rumble. We're streaming on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all that good shit. Jay Lou says Tim Pool is a millennial and serves a useful purpose to reach that demographic who otherwise might just be stuck in Bernie Sandersville. No comment on where Bernie attends religious services. SMH, right? B-Slice over 50 says, is a guy named Nick Fuentes supposed to be white? I don't know any white people named Fuentes. Yeah, I think he is actually like, I think he might be like white Latina or some shit like that. But anyways.
Ultimately to fight for the good of humanity. Genuinely. Like it sounds corny, but if we have more of these liberals, if we have more of these brainwashed, controlled politicians winning elections and controlling what we think, America's done. If you really pay attention, if you seek truth, I didn't even know this before I started seeking truth through funny and paying attention. But if we have more Bidens, and we have more vaccinated, like more of the people spreading the lies, like purporting the woke nonsense, pushing feminism, trying to destroy the family from the inside out, telling you it's okay to be weak and fat, pushing pills down your throat, telling you need to that there's something wrong with your brain. If we keep pushing these ideas, America's done. And a lot of people have realized this and got the fuck out. A lot of these people, they have multiple passports, passport gang, going on Fresh and Fit later tonight. A lot of passport gang. And like, for example, Andrew.
Oh, damn, my bad. I was muted. Thanks, guys. I was muted. But anyways, what I was saying is when it comes to Sneako, people watch his content and then other Red Vitamin guys' content because they're trying to figure out how to get a bitch in general. Like, they've never had one. And even Sneako admitted that, yo, you know, a lot of my followers may not be getting much sunlight. So the reality is the guys who kind of follow him really aren't outside, and they're really not, like, you know, experiencing every aspect of life. So it's like, you know, people are gravitating toward him, which is fine. But I definitely think that he should deal with Kanye with a long-handed spoon. And I'm sure he has an idea of what he's doing. But at the same time, bro, like, Kanye, he really is spiraling down. He really is spiraling down. You do have the guys who are going passport bro and going overseas. And we've seen some of the issues that occur with the passport bros, like the brother who passed away. The kindergartner teacher from Louisiana passed away with the carbon monoxide situation. Then we had the sisters who went all together. Well, the group of kids, Shanquilla Robinson, whatever. You know, she got beat down. She got the beats. But, you know, we've got the passport thing going on. And then you've got success stories from the passport bros as well. So we've got all these different movements going down. But and that's not going to be everybody, of course. Okay, because most people aren't going to be able to. They're not going to be willing to take that leap of faith. And they don't have like a YouTube channel to pay them out monthly and keep them on their feet. It's not happening for a lot of people.
Tristan Tate, they got the fuck out. They're from Chicago. Got the fucking. They live in Dubai. Completely against Western ideology. There's no more culture. There's no more.
And I ain't gonna lie. I mean, Dubai, they a little too extra. They a little too extra. Like, they threw DJ Esco in prison for 56 nights for a drug possession. That shit was OD. That shit was OD.
Essence of what it meant to be an American. And this is coming from somebody who had rejected all of that. I was an atheist for the longest time. I didn't believe in anything. I had no purpose. The reason that I found God and the reason I found my purpose was just realizing all the evils of the world. And now it's in front of your face. Balenciaga, I've said on many podcasts that the global elites are eating children on an island. They're doing satanic rituals and crazy conspiracy theories. And then they show you, they put it in front of your face.
Yeah, so the Balenciaga shit, I mean, we're not going to get too deeply in the Balenciaga shit, but that shit, I mean, that shit was wild, okay? Matter of fact, let me see. We can break it down. He kind of jumps from point to point. Black Desiato says passport gremlins on demon time. J. Lou says, so we see how the media works. Fuentes is white when the narrative fits their purposes. despite Fuentes stating on multiple occasions he hombrito. Sort of how the media did George Zimmerman. Yeah, that's true. Beast Life over 50 said, I'm really confused about who is white these days. If a dude named Fuentes is white, they can't this Sneako dude be white either or as well. He is obviously of mixed race. Yes, he is of mixed race. So yeah, Balenciaga gets to stay and their bank accounts get to stay and all this other goofy shit. But they're out here doing some weird shit. They're out here doing weird shit like having a kid holding a teddy bear that's dressed in BDSM. And if you guys don't know where BDSM, I think it is bondage, domination. Is it submission, bondage, domination, submission, and I want to say masochism. Let me see. Okay, so what does it stand for? Bondage, discipline. Okay, domination, submission, and sadism. Hold up. They didn't have that shit in the right order, I guess. So what is it? BDDSS? What the fuck? So yeah, I guess, I mean, something like that. I mean, it's some weird sexual shit that kids shouldn't be exposed to. Then you have, this picture where he's holding the doll again. You see the dragons. There's like dragons on the wall. I'm just trying to notice what I can see here. I don't know what this cup has on it, but obviously these are chains. You got sunglasses in here. And then they have like the Supreme Court case or whatnot that everybody's talking about. Yeah, so they got that Supreme Court case there. And it says the brand Balenciaga just did a interesting photo shoot for their new products recently, which included a very purposely poor hidden court document about virtual child adult content. Well, I guess you couldn't call kid adult content but explicit child digital media. So they said if Balenciaga did something that offended the LGBT community, every celebrity would have cut ties instantly. They promoted kid adult digital media, and nearly every celebrity is silent. Really makes you think, huh? Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely some weird shit. Hey, photographers, when Balenciaga hires you to shoot their new lookbook and you show up to find a toddler laid across a sofa with wine glass and bondage gear arranged around them, you walk away, period. So yeah, for sure. A lot of mistakes were made. Balenciaga is not being canceled. Balenciaga severed their ties with Kanye due to a tweet, yet they expect us to just accept their apology after they get caught up sexualizing children. They're not apologizing because they're sorry. They're apologizing because they got caught. Yeah, they are. And there's also like a thing where Balenciaga basically is suing, I don't know, the marketers or whatnot. I think Andrew Tate is going to speak on it. Hold on, let's see what he says.
Unfortunately, I do not have the old tweet, as I've lived many different incarnations upon the planet, especially on social media platforms. But a few years ago, I made a tweet in which I was particularly abrasive and insulting towards the new fashion trend, which were those infantile, oversized, hidden, height-increasing shoes. Those large shoes with a huge sole. I remember seeing them, and I was instantly enraged, as any red-blooded male should have been. And I wasn't sure exactly what it was. I don't know if it was the idea that short men were trying to act large, and as a man of naturally large stature, I was insulted that inferior specimens of the human race were trying to pretend they were my equal. I wasn't sure if it was just for the fact that the shoes looked infantile and childish. I think it was every single time I went shopping, I could no longer buy a nice pair of trainers or sneakers from any of the reputable brands because they'd all been oversized Lego brick garbage. But now I realize that actually the reason I was so overtly offended is because I am all-seeing, all-knowing Tate. I am an oracle. I am basically a psychic. In fact, I'm basically the most smartest, knowledgeable person on the planet. I have never predicted anything wrong in history. Every single call I've ever made has turned out to be completely accurate and factually correct. And the reason I was so instantly enraged when I saw these stupid fucking shoes on people's feet is because I did not know at the time, but deep in my soul, as an Aikido master, I knew that later on, this glaring fact would be presented to me. Who invented that trend? Which was the first brand that came out with those stupid oversized shoes? Balenciaga. The pedophiles. They're pedophile shoes. Now it all makes sense. When I first saw them, I was so pissed off, and I was...
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. He's not wrong. I mean, he's saying a lot of shit. People saying how tall is Tate? He's 6'2". He's 6'2". I mean, he's not wrong.
Pissed off at any man I saw wearing them. I didn't really know why, but now I know why, because they were invented by fucking pedophiles. So just like we will ostracize and criticize any single person you see walk into a Balenciaga store, I would actually like to expand that out across the entire fashion trend of these stupid overlarge shoes that people are wearing. These men walking around with these massive fucking shoes on. It's immature and it's pathetic. It was invented by pedophiles. It means by wearing them, you support pedophilia. You're basically a fucking pedophile yourself. They are now pedophile shoes. Whenever I see a man...
Yeah, I had to trash my Balenciaga shit. The Balenciaga hats. And then, as you can see, all the celebrities who rock with Balenciaga. Hold on. Beyonce and Jay-Z, obviously. Ellen DeGeneres. Madonna. Rihanna. Adele. Doja Cat, of course. Brad Pitt. Miley Cyrus. And this is not to say that they are involving themselves in the activities that Balenciaga just revealed themselves for involving themselves into. But it does make a statement if they continue to do business with Balenciaga further. Okay? Because I ain't gonna lie, I got a Balenciaga hat and I think I got a Balenciaga hoodie. And yeah. But obviously, you know, mine ain't real. I don't buy real designer. All my shit fake. I'm not finna buy no real fucking $200 fucking t-shirt. You can forget it. I'm getting that shit off goddamn you know, Alibaba or some shit. Let's see. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the Balenciaga shit. I mean, we could go a little deeper into it, but that's not the podcast for this time.
Yes, we are eating kids. We are doing satanic sacrificial rituals. Look at us doing it. Look. And then we go, whoa. That's what brought me to God, was seeing how people like Ye, people like Fuentes, and people like me are getting more canceled than fucking Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, and that is true. Niggas is getting more canceled than Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, but Jeffrey Epstein, he did get canceled, right? In the deepest way, okay? In the deepest way. So let's keep going.
And so now I have to take this opportunity. So
Halfway.
Let me get some W's, not only for child Sneako. Thank you for the 5 scoop sesh. Because on one hand, I accomplished my dream. I've been working. That's why I haven't been streaming for the past week. I've been working very close, and just meeting him was just like childhood dream. Done. You did it. You did it. But now I have the opportunity of a lifetime to really try to do what I know and what I think is right. Use the platform that I have, use the knowledge that I have, the connections, the information, and seeking truth through funny, and try to do the last. Thank you for the 20, Bryson Gray. God first, he said. Try to do what I think is right. I don't want to sound all self-righteous, but it's just, it feels, I found my calling. I found my calling. So
he met Kanye and he found his calling. I mean, that's what, you know how they say never meet your idols. Look, I think that Sneako is making a big mistake if he thinks he's going to hitch his wagon onto Kanye and it's going to bring him a lot of success. You know, Kanye has definitely made people successful, but he's also fucking ruined people, okay? And you know, he's just like he says that the small hats have done business in bad faith with him. He's done business in bad faith with people as well throughout his career. It's a known thing. So, hey, just be careful, Sneako. I would fall back a little bit, you know, embrace the fact that you got a picture with him on IG, you know, ride that till the wheels fall off. But you see, you know, even Candace Owens stepping back, a lot of people stepping back from Kanye because, you know, he's saying a whole bunch of shit, but he's saying some good shit, but then he's also saying some bad shit. And he can't recognize when he says some bad shit. And nobody's telling him that he's full of shit.
Don't be mad at me. I'm going to still be streaming, but less. I want to start honing into my creative skills because a lot of you, if you see my main channel before they deleted it, you know that I consider myself an artist and I have a lot of talent that I can use, and not just to be mindless entertainment, you know, on the trending page, eating chocolate or jumping into a pool of nails and giving $1 million to a pizza guy. Like, yeah, that's entertaining, but it was always frustrating working with these people and doing it because it's like, this is meaningless. This is making people dumber. Everything on YouTube is just meant to dumb you down. There's nothing uplifting about it. Comedy, the best comedy is always something that you learn something from. In my opinion, is philosophical. And I want to do that. I want to do that. So I'm going to try, and I'm going to do what God wants me to do. So let me get some W's, not only for for accomplishing a dream, man. I got Runaway tatted on me. I didn't even tell Ye. I didn't even have an opportunity to tell him. I didn't want to.
He got Runaway tatted on him. Look, man. Hey, bro, please. I like Kanye, and I'm not. Y'all know I like Kanye. Okay, y'all know I like Kanye. I've been rocking since College Dropout. But at the same time, bro, I know that Kanye is not somebody that you want to necessarily look up to. Kanye has definitely fried his brain with drugs, whether it be drugs given to him from his handler trainer, Harley Pasternak, or it be drugs that he willingly took from his own free will and volition. You know, there's some people who can do drugs and then come out of all of it and be able to form intelligible sentences. But then there are others who come out and struggle to piece together the remaining fragments that they have left of their brain cells. And I think that is kind of what Kanye's doing. You know, especially with the way that he speaks, it's like a lot of thoughts coming in at one time. He says you know, when he has one thought, he has 7 and all this other extra shit. You know, that's not good for directly communicating. And that can also bring in confusion. So, hey, just be careful, bruh.
It was too uncomfortable. And we're very focused and we're working hard. But there's a video on my Twitter of me singing My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy when I was, I think, 11 years old, 12 years old when it first dropped. And that was on Thanksgiving Day. And then I ended up, like 12 years later, on the anniversary of that album, I'm there right next to him, working close with him and working on videos for his Twitter, stuff like that. And not that I can't speak about everything, obviously. But I feel like this is really the last opportunity that America has. I genuinely believe that.
Bro, I mean, when it comes to the next election, for sure. I mean, this one's going to be the nail in the coffin.
but you're gonna have to pick a side. It's either gonna have to be Trump or Ye. We had the secret meeting with Trump and Kanye and Nick Fuentes, and basically Trump pretty much said, you know, I love Ye, but he has issues. Guys, do not look, man. We already got Herschel, and we trying to find ways to justify to get his ass in there. Do not put Kanye on that ballot. Please do not, okay? Because if you really want somebody who don't know what the fuck they doing, it's going to be Kanye. I mean, respectfully, I love Ye, but at the same time, for president, nah, bro. You know, doing all the wild shit, talking, maybe get your own YouTube channel, Kanye, start talking your shit, or come on Rumble, start talking your shit, start your own podcast, do something that's organized that you can, you know, create a schedule with, like Mike Tyson did, because we know his brain is fucked too. But I mean, not president, bro, not president.
I don't see a bright future for America if we keep getting rid of family values, if we keep demonizing people by labeling them misogynistic, toxic, racist, all this stuff, where we keep on shutting people out and pushing disgusting woke agenda, twerking, like drag queens twerking in your kid's face and calling in the name of progressive. It's disgusting. And I genuinely, it's gone too far. We all know, anybody on Rumble knows this. Like, it was more fun on YouTube where not everybody agreed, so I could yell at you, go, wake up, wake up! Everyone here, you agree, you know. So. And
yeah, I agree. You know, but it's getting way too far with the woke culture, with the leftist culture, for sure, 100%. Sneako's right about everything that he's saying in here. But like I said, my issue, bro, Kanye, if anybody, is not the one to get behind it. Like, do we even know Kanye is a real Christian? Like I said, he produced the track Lucifer. He referred to Jesus as the son of the morning in his Sunday service album or whatever that shit was called. And he knows who the son of the morning is. He invited Marilyn Manson to Sunday service. Okay. All these guys who are Masonic puppets. He invited Justin Bieber, another Masonic puppet. You can't be on both sides. I was just watching a interview with Marvin Sapp, and he's a gospel singer. And his mother told him when he was very young, she said, you can't sing gospel and sing secular music. You got to choose one. So he chose the gospel. Never sang an R&B song. Never sang, any of that other shit. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to get Sneako to understand. Kanye has some damn issues. Okay. That doesn't mean you cancel him. You just disregard him. But like I said, if you go into your relationship with Kanye from a follower mentality, like whatever Kanye says, I'm a stand behind it, then you're bugging. You're making a big mistake. Kanye needs somebody to tell him that he needs to shut the fuck up sometimes and listen. Kanye needs somebody to tell him no. Kanye needs somebody to say, look, dog, if you want to do this, this is how you need to go about doing it. You can do it your own way, but I'm a I told you so ass nigga. So don't get mad when I say I told you so. So if you're not going to be that for Kanye, then you probably just need to get out of his way. Because if you're going to be on some follower shit, if you're going to be on some dick riding shit, and you're not going to really say, yo, yeah, I fuck with I fuck with you, bro, but when you did this, that was the wrong way to approach it. Then I don't think you need to be, involving yourself with Kanye. If you're not going to be one of these guys who going to actually tell him no, if you're going to be a yes man, then you don't need to involve yourself with Kanye. I'm saying that right now. I know he's been through a lot, and for sure, we're on Kanye's side when it comes to the bank account shit, when it comes to the free speech shit, all that, okay? But at the same time, when it comes to this Christianity shit, I don't really think Kanye, and this is from my own personal opinion, I don't think Kanye is a true,
I really don't think that he's like a true Christian. And I'm not saying that I'm the best Christian or anything like that. But the things that he's done when it comes to the music shit, the imagery that he's portrayed, the photo shoots that he's done, you know, the Sunday service shit, a lot of the Donda shit, it's concerning. It is concerning. Okay. Let's see. Let me see, because I got there's some pictures and videos that I kind of want you guys to watch. I mean, even when it comes to the Yeezus shit, and I like the Yeezus album, but it was blasphemous. I ain't gonna cap. The nigga was saying he was a god. And I could see he could say, oh, you know, I'm the god of music or some shit, but this nigga said, I am a god. I don't know. There was a lot of blasphemy in the Yeezus album, you know, which makes me kind of, and then, you know, too much likening himself to Christ. I think Kendrick Lamar just got in trouble with that at the BET Awards. So did DaBaby. But let's keep listening to Sneako.
I'm happy for myself. I am. And you're gonna see Milo, Nick, and Ye on Tim Pool later tonight, and you'll be seeing me making bigger appearances, and now I'm making waves into worlds that I never knew that I'd be able to step into. So it's not just TikTok clout. You know, I know I have 5 billion views on TikTok. That's the biggest fucking credit I have to my name. But people like Mike Dean blocked me on Twitter and Instagram, and Lex Friedman blocked me on Twitter. I just got back. Why am I blocked? And now these are the people that I've admired when I was a kid. Like now they're like getting mad at me and we're going back and forth. And now it's another level. It's not just mindless YouTube entertainment. This is the next level. And I really want to push myself, and I want to make sure.
All right. So yeah, I mean, Sneako has definitely drank in the Kanye Kool-Aid. And I 100% understand being in his position, wanting to make connections with Kanye. I mean, of course, anybody who's listened to Kanye's music would want to have a healthy relationship with Kanye if you ever got to meet him in person. But at the same time, like I said, if you're not going to be that guy to tell him, no, Kanye, you're fucking wrong, you're out of your mind, there's some bullshit that you did here, you got to stop acting like a petulant child. If you're going to be a yes man, if you're going to be a dick rider, bro, then you don't need to be involved in Kanye's life. He's got too much of that. So
today's episode will be talking.
Yeah, we're going to watch this Kanye video, this quote unquote expose about the whole Donda, the whole Donda album and the situation therein. I mean, there's a lot of weird shit going on that makes you really question the motives between the Sunday service Kanye shit.
Talking about Kanye West's recent album release event for Donda. I have analyzed all 3 of the events to the best of my ability with the available footage I can find, and I believe I have an understanding of what's going on. Many of you have requested I take a look into this, so let's get right into it. First off, I would like to note that I already made a video on Kanye.
I mean, so as you can see, even I think this was like a alternate album cover of one of his albums. A lot of horned beings, okay, in here. Man mixed with beast themes. A lot of issues going on with this picture. I mean, it's very artistic. It looks cool. It looks dope. But as is above, so is below. You have people, sitting upside down, people right side up. There's a lot of satanic imagery in this picture alone.
First off, I would like to note that I already made a video on Kanye. It's a bit outdated because the mic I had at the time was no good, and I was still new to making YouTube videos. However, I am working on an updated version, and I will be releasing it soon. In that video, I explained that Kanye was using his fans' religious belief to manipulate them. Kanye essentially started his own church, the Church of Kanye, where he's the God. Since the beginning of his career, he's always wanted to be worshipped, calling himself a god, even naming himself Jesus. This is why Kanye began rapping to begin with. He wanted to be worshipped like the artists he produced beats for. He envied their attention. Many people believe that Kanye might have sacrificed his mother in order to get initiated.
Allegedly, that's what I got in trouble for. That's where I got the copyright strike from. So allegedly.
And be reborn through Lucifer. And his Donda event only makes his accusations much more believable. The odd circumstances in which Kanye's mother's past stood out to many, including myself. Yes, I know she had gone in for surgery, but there was no reports of malpractice with her procedure. What comes to no surprise is that she would pass just 2 months after Kanye's graduation would sell 957,000 copies first week.
And 957,000 records is a lot of fucking records, especially in this day and age where you got streaming and all that kind of stuff.
Outdoing both of Kanye's previous 2 albums. Even the name of the album is telling, as it implied that he finally graduated from something. In a 2015 interview, Kanye was asked about his mom, which he stated that he blamed himself for his mother's death. When asked about his sacrifice, he stated that his mother would be alive if he would have never moved to LA, telling the interviewer that he'd rather not get into it. After analyzing the available footage I can find on the Donda event, it's clear to me that this was in no way honoring Donda's life, but instead honoring her sacrifice and Kanye's transcendence into a false god. The first event held in Atlanta shows Kanye dressed in red. Freemasons wear red to symbolize a sacrifice. He stands around in the middle of a ritual circle.
I mean, it's weird for sure. Like, come on. Like I said, man, we talking about when you see once you start bringing in the religion and all that kind of stuff, then it starts getting a little cult like. And you know, I'm a believer of God and whatnot, but at the same time, the way Kanye's doing it is a little much. He's not a pastor. I told you guys, I personally don't believe he reads his Bible like that. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And you know, it's just problematic.
Which is created to hold spiritual energy in, not allowing it to escape. The smoke and the chanting all represent ritual practice, which anybody with a sudden eyes can see. Kanye would want us to believe that this is all rooted in Christianity. The thing is, I have never seen any church service that looked the way this event looked. It resembled the Black Mass, which is held by Satanists. The high priest would usually sit in the middle and conduct a demonic ritual while surrounded by other members, forming a circle almost exactly what we see with Kanye. In his second listening event, you can see him dressed in black, head to toe, and wearing Donda across his shirt. Again,
yeah, I ain't seen this. All these damn Sunday services, I ain't seen this nigga in church clothes once. I ain't seen this nigga in church clothes once. And I know you got these new age churches where they go in fucking khaki shorts and a fucking t-shirt. But look, man, there's a reason why there's a phrase called Sunday, put on your Sunday best. Because, you know, like I said, a lot of issues.
Again, we see people forming a ritual circle around Kanye. At the end of the ritual, he starts to levitate, as if he's becoming possessed. It is important to know what black represents in Freemasonry, which is death. This is what Kanye is representing, the death of his mother, which was his sacrifice. In the final listening event, he starts with a replica of his childhood home, and it appears to be burning from the inside. You can see what seems to be flames lighting up the lower windows, as smoke could be seen rising. This home is supposed to represent Kanye's death and rebirth. Again, a group of men surround Kanye in a ritual circle.
In the circle again. I mean, guys, this don't look like church. It don't look like church. It don't look like no damn Sunday service.
Closer to the end of the event, he is set on fire from the inside of his house. Then Kanye is walking out in flames to represent the phoenix, the rise from the flames, signifying Kanye's rebirth as a false god. When they put Kanye's flames out, a woman dressed in white, which appears to be Kim, walks towards him. Essentially, she represents his offering. If I were to summarize Kanye's odd behavior, it's nothing more than just an open satanic ritual for the masses. Many believe that Kanye sacrificed his mother, and looking at this, I can't really argue with them. This to me clearly represents, in ritual form, what he did to make it. From the red representing sacrifice, to black representing death, and lastly, the fire representing his rebirth. These rituals have been done for years at award shows for the world to watch. Kanye sold his soul years ago and has been serving Lucifer proudly.
Yeah, I mean, he said that. He said, I sold my soul to the devil. That's a crappy deal. At least it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal. I remember he said that shit on stage. I mean,
if you sell your soul to the devil, you really can't get that shit back. You can't get that shit back. You took the oath. He took the oath.
He confused many people with his Jesus is King album, but even in that album, he had the song Christ-like, where he repeatedly confessed his life isn't Christ-like. Kanye wants to be a god.
Yeah, and in the Jesus is King album, he also said something to the effect of Jesus is the morning sun. He's the morning light, which he knows who the morning sun is, or the son of the morning. That's actually Lucifer. A lot of issues.
He has finally achieved it, convincing people that he is spreading the word of the gospel, a true wolf in sheep's clothing. People like Kanye are willing to do anything to be a god. Just like Lucifer, they want to be worshipped, stealing God's praise for themselves. God should be the only being to be praised, as he is the creator, and all of it is his creation. Kanye, just like Lucifer, wanted that praise for themselves. Donda was Kanye's ticket into the music industry, his way into being able to achieve his dreams of being a god. As much as it might have hurt him, he was willing to do what he felt was needed, which was a sacrifice. Kanye himself admitted he sold his soul to the devil. He proved himself to them the moment he was willing to make Donda his sacrifice. Kanye, like all of the artists that make it to the level he is on, must make a sacrifice. It must be initiated with blood. Many people are quickly being able to tell that Kanye is deceiving them. People can clearly see the agenda being pushed. Most of these celebrities are Satanists and are being used to guide the youth into their own damnation. It's clear to see what side Kanye is on. The same side Marilyn Manson is on, who you can see next to Kanye at the event. Manson has made an entire career of openly worshiping Lucifer and spreading his demonic agenda.
Yeah, and Marilyn Manson, he used to eat Bible pages straight out he used to eat pages straight out the Bible. And here you see Kanye standing next to the nigga. Like, how the fuck does that make sense? How the fuck does that make sense?
The same side Marilyn Manson is on, who you can see next to Kanye at the event. Manson has made an entire career of openly worshiping Lucifer and spreading his demonic agenda. It is no coincidence that a man like Manson would attend such a demonic event. Kanye chose Lucifer a long time ago. People have been deceived by Kanye since the beginning of his career. One of his biggest songs early on was Jesus Walks, and many people took this song as him praising God. I always heard it as him giving his farewell to God and turning his back on him. His entire purpose is to lead the masses astray. As we listen to our favorite artists, we must remember what they stand for and what agenda they represent. They want our souls, and they will not stop until they have them. We must not allow the music we listen to manipulate us. They want us to buy into their Masonic lifestyle and guide us on a destructive path. We must help those who can't see the truth find the truth. Thank you for watching.
All right, guys. So, I mean, that was just a little background on the Donda shit. I think there's like a video this guy made about the Sunday service shit. There's a lot of people who made videos about Sunday service and shit. Okay, we got this brother right here. He's let me see. He's pretty good too. You know, he doesn't do too crazy. Well, I mean, you know, he does a little research, whatnot, but he got the facts too. He's pretty entertaining.
Good job. Welcome back to another taking a Sunday service, and I was saved, and you know, he's a new devout Christian and stuff like that. But a lot of people in the comment section were saying that Kanye West is a part of this entire thing too, this demonic agenda as well.
Yeah.
And honestly, I looked at these comments and I said to myself, nah, this man literally has been telling us that he's trying to dedicate his life to God. But then I realized one thing. Every single religion, including Satanism, has a God. You have Hindu, Buddha, you have Christianity, you have Catholicism, you even have smaller sections of different religions that worship different saints and prophets. Every single religion has their own God, including Satanism, bro. Now, we reacted to a video on our Patreon, and there was literally an entire occultic Satanist group doing rituals and all type of crazy shit. All types of crazy shit. And they were using words as if they were interchangeable. They were over here saying, oh yeah, we have to save our brother from whatever. Meanwhile, it's an entire demonic ritual. There's blood rituals and shit. We have to go to mass. Meanwhile, it's an occultic gathering. They're using these words.
All right, let's fast forward.
on YouTube. This video right here, shit up. Fancy, a very, very well-known Satanist, and we're gonna be talking about him today too, just so you guys don't think I'm making this shit up. Y'all just think I'll be here service.
All right.
Here torturing the people in this.
Kanye West brought back his Sunday service on Halloween, but the choir concert was not without controversy. Kanye, who legally changed his name to
Hold on, and then we see it looks like he did the eyebrow shaving ritual as well, which the Egyptians used to do when their cats died. They would shave their eyebrows. This imagery is also used in quote unquote Masonic rituals and whatnot. I mean, my point is, Sneako thinks that Kanye is just like this guy who's for God. And I'm telling you, like, bro has been a part of the whole thing. He's been a part of the Masonic agenda the whole time. I mean, he literally was signed to Rockefeller. So, and he been throwing up the rock. He been throwing up the damn rock since day one, like the one-eye symbolism since day one.
Choir concert was not without controversy. Kanye, who legally changed his name to just Ye, hosted a popular service on a rooftop and had a number of guests in tow.
They keep calling that nigga Ye. It's Ye, bro. It's Ye.
All dressed in white. Roddy Ricch and Justin Bieber joined the Flashing Lights rapper at the helm.
Roddy Ricch and Justin Bieber. I mean, think these guys are Christian? Sure.
Justin gave a blessing and performed during the event.
We got Marilyn Manson right here, bro. A very well-known Satanist, bro.
He's praying with Justin Bieber and Marilyn Manson. Blasphemy.
Thank you that you leave the 99 for the one. Thank you that you never leave us or forsake us. Thank you that we can never be more loved than we are right now in this moment.
He and the choir sang a number of songs off his new album, Donda, which was released earlier this year, including Hurricane.
I want y'all to pay attention to this right here. All of my Patreon subscribers, you already know where I'm going with this, okay? This image right here is an exact portrayal of what I saw in the satanic rituals that were going on in that occultic group, all right?
Yeah.
Literally over here doing different type of blood rituals and cutting this and cutting that and letting it bleed and drain. Meanwhile, everybody who was a part of that service, they were all wearing gowns and hooded. Now, mind you, in this, they're all white gowns and being hooded. In the Satan group, they're all red gowns and being hooded. But I find it very, very interesting. You don't go to church and you're hooded. It's like you're trying to hide your identity. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah. So, Sneako, I mean, beware of Kanye. It says Marilyn Manson at Kanye West, aka Ye's Sunday service doesn't sit right with me. Exactly. How could it? How could it? It literally makes no sense. But, you know, like I said, Sneako is kind of a follower. Not even kinda. He's definitely a follower. And I don't mean to offend him, but I mean, bro. Kanye, you don't want to hit your wagon to Kanye. I definitely understand riding the clout wave for sure. But that nigga Sneako is talking about, oh, I'm going to slow down on streaming. I want to do this. I want to do that. Kanye's not finna help you fulfill your dreams. He might give you a photo shoot and whatnot, but the nigga is not finna, especially if you come in with that fan energy. Somebody needs to tell Kanye that, hey, bro, this is how you move, whatnot. Give him some real guidance, some real counsel. And like I said, if you're just gonna be in there dick riding and thinking every move that he makes is law, then you out your fucking mind. Okay. So, anyways, let's break down this Tim Cass walkout. And then we will conclude the stream. So let's go.
I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. You were with your families or loved ones, or at least relaxed and enjoyed yourself. Over the past week, there was a particularly big news story that's resulted in a continued news cycle, which is now going on for over a week, which is in many ways unheard of. But right now, because Donald Trump went to dinner with Ye and Nick Fuentes, among others, he is now being denounced by Mike Pence, several Republican senators, and for whatever reason, this story, for many reasons I suppose people have made, this story has persisted till today. And we are able...
And that's some bullshit. You see the Republican Party turning on Trump, even though they've already been turned. I mean, how does your vice president denounce you? That's fucking crazy.
Able to actually sit down with several of the individuals involved in that story, notably Ye, Nick Fuentes, and Malinopolis, of course, who made the dinner happen. It's my understanding, or at least got the.
I had the dinner invite before I met Milo.
Okay, my bad. There you go. So,
and I will say something about Tim Pool, bro. You got all that money.
Probably need to throw some Invisalign on your bottom teeth, respectfully.
We're gonna jump right into
I
this
just
news story.
overcomplicated it.
Absolutely. So we're gonna start with that. And there's a lot we want to talk about. And you know what, man? This is a very big story. A lot of people have questions about, you know, what were Trump's intentions, why were certain people invited, and Trump, of course, has issued statements. So a lot of people want to know where he stands, and more importantly, what happened there and why. And there's also the questions about what Yay 24 means, and I'll keep that a little bit vague so that they can answer to that and speak more to that. And then, of course, we're going to get into a lot of different issues. However, head over to timcast.com and become a member. We're going to have a members-only uncensored show, which will probably get a bit more in-depth on a lot of other issues. That I'll just leave it at that. Timcast.com, become a member, support our work, and we'll talk about more there. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with your friends. Joining us, as I mentioned, is we have Ye himself. Would you like to introduce yourself, good sir?
You did it.
There you go. I think everybody knows who you are. And which you gentlemen would like to introduce yourself?
Nicholas, please.
Hi, yeah, I'm Nick Fuentes. First time here on the Timcast. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you do?
Oh, I'm a live streamer. I do a show called America First on cozy.tv.
All right. And of course, Milo, you were here a couple weeks ago.
Yes, I'm your best ever guest.
So we've been told that the episode with you was one of the best podcasts ever. People really enjoyed hearing you speak.
I think that's accurate.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
thanks for coming back.
Thanks. I was wondering how I was going to make it even more extraordinary the second time I visited, but I think I might have pulled it off.
Luke's here.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I'll have to check that one out. Is this Milo Yiannopoulos? Is this the same one? Right? If I'm not mistaken. Isn't he like the what is he like? Some I don't remember exactly. I guess he's like he's basically like an LGBT conservative, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what he did to get canceled. I'm really not sure, but hey.
Here.
Total Sausage Fest tonight. Welcome. My name is Luke Radowski of wearechange.org. Today,
That's the GOAT right there, Luke Radowski. Guys, go subscribe to We Are Change. That is, you know, his channel is the one that I really like looked into to really get my bearings on what was going on in the world, global news and conspiracies and whatnot. This dude, he's fire. He's been doing it for years and years. He's the GOAT for sure.
I'm wearing my Didn't Epstein himself t-shirt, which you could get on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And I think we should be using that word a little bit more, just like, you know, this YouTube channel didn't Epstein itself. And if this YouTube channel is Epsteined, we will be streaming on Twitter.
For sure. A lot of YouTube channels are getting Epsteined for sure.
So yeah, I started a t-shirt company after YouTube demonetized me. So thebestpoliticalshirts.com, because you
guys, I mean, look, I got the merch store. Nobody's supporting the merch. My last merch purchase was August. Guys, I mean, if y'all want alternative media to grow, y'all got to show some support now. So, hey.
Bye. That's why I'm here. Thank you so much for having me.
And of course, Serge.
And I am Serge.com. Pleasure, guys.
All right. And I'll just pull up this story from The Hill, which is from earlier today, 5 p.m. Pence says Trump should apologize. It's wrong to give anti-Semite a seat at the table. This, of course, is related to a dinner that happened. And I was wrong a little on the details. So a dinner happened. Nick, you were there. Yay, you were there. I just want to start off by how did this dinner come to happen and what happened?
I was talking to Trump for about a month. We had scheduled the dinner in October, and then he announced for president. He pushed the dinner back to November. And I've been pulling together a campaign. And after I put up the DEF CON tweet, a bunch of people that have been canceled, like Alex Jones, I started getting in contact with other people that were now on the inside of the matrix. And Alex Jones, producer, said that Milo wanted to contact me. And here we are.
So that's how you guys got in contact.
Wow. Somebody said, Cyrus Cherry says Milo supported the pedo community. He's Catholic now and claims to be ex-LGBT. Wow. Wow, I didn't know that. So very controversial figure. You have to be careful of the people you align yourself with. Sneako is aligning himself with Ye, who is aligning himself with Nick Fuentes, who, you know, in totality, they're all aligned with Milo. If Milo, you know, really supported I don't know if this is true or not. I'll have to look into it. But if he really supported that community, then that's a big L. Jay Lou says, yay, you typed DEFCON and it wasn't on purpose or what you intended. Yeah, he tries to clean it up saying, oh, it was just a DEFCON tweet. Nah, bro, you said DEFCON. So, I mean, he made a huge mistake. Nate Campbell said, yeah, in his book, he was groomed and stuff as a kid and basically was okay with it. It was a weird thing. Yeah, I mean, if he was groomed, then, you know, we definitely want to extend some grace for sure, because hurt people. And, you know, if he was brought up in that way and then he, you know, basically the idea is he would flip it and the victim would become the victimizer. So if he was able to overcome that with therapy or whatever process he had to go through, then shout out to him. You know, hopefully he's reformed, right? But you know, I don't know. I mean, I guess can you really be ex-LGBT? I mean, how is that working out for my man Andrew Caldwell?
Do you believe that the Lord tonight has set you free? Yes, sir. Turn around and tell those people. Tell them. I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. Women. I said women. I'm not gay. I would not date a man. I would not carry a purse. I would not put on makeup. I will love a woman. Now listen, y'all praise God with him. Hold on, wait a minute. Somebody believe God with him. Hey! We don't just preach condemnation. We preach reconciliation. Hallelujah! God, help him, Lord. Help him, Lord. Help him. I wish I had some shown up believers that'll come down here and dance with him and tell him you can do it in the name of Jesus. Hey! That's right. Hey! When I tell you, I want you to run down towards that camera and tell them I got a brand new life. Run right now. Run. Because it's in front of you. Glory to God. Somebody shout better.
Better in the name of Jesus. But yeah, I mean, how did that transformation work out for Andrew Caldwell? From what I've been seeing, his demeanor is still that of a homosexual man. So I don't know if you can be ungayed or be a reformed homosexual. I think it's if it's in you, it's in you, and if it's on you, it's on you. Point blank. But you know, J. Lou said Milo actually didn't support pedo. He did though claim that his own personal molestation experience as an underage boy did not ruffle his feathers. It was a dumb AF thing to say. Okay.
Yeah, originally, and then I suggested that we bring in Nicholas as a enormous extra brain firepower that he is. He's most extraordinarily brilliant political commentator of his generation, and he's been treated just about as badly as anybody. So I thought he deserved to be in the room too. And yeah, that's pretty much how we got together.
So I have some questions about that, but we'll get through the dinner portion of, how exactly this happened, what went down. So this is how you get in contact, the three of you. How is it that Nick ends up invited to this dinner, and what happened?
Well, he was rolling with me. I was impressed with Nick, and I was like, just come to the dinner. And we had Karen Giorno pick us up from the airport. And there was a lot of back and forth. There's another gentleman named Jamar Montgomery that was with us. It's he's an engineer at Boeing, and
I'm telling him just we should raise everyone's volume.
Okay, cool. And we sat there, and it was like when Trump came in, I said, do you want to sit alone? He's like, no, bring your friends in. So a big thing is like Trump had no idea who Nick Fuentes was. But this whole, I just got to go right to the heart of this anti-Semite claim that's happening. This is something, if you read the definition, it says you can't claim that there's multiple people inside of banks or in media that are all Jewish, or you're anti-Semitic. And that's the truth. Like,
yeah. I mean, I really don't see an issue with it. That's just like saying, yeah, most of the guys who play basketball are black. It's the truth.
It's the truth. What are we talking about? And
elaborate. What do you mean? You mean?
I'm saying like I've been labeled anti-Semite, right? So there's different beliefs about our bloodlines, like the documentary that Kyrie posted. And in general, America has been left ignorant and history has been changed. So when we start questioning things that question the indoctrination, then you immediately get,
and this is my issue with Kanye. His thoughts don't really seem complete. He doesn't really have a game plan to come into these conversations. He just sits down and just wings the shit. Like, bro, if you're going to make a claim about small hats running the media, you got to do what I did and bring up these articles, bring up the evidence, list people in the record industry. You got to name drop. You can't just say, oh, well, like, because if I would say, oh, well, most of the, athletes in the people who run the athletic division of the NBA, not the managerial, right, division of the NBA, but just the athletic part are black, I could start listing off names and I'll say, oh, well, Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'll say LeBron James, I'll say Chris Paul, I'll start naming guys, right? Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, even Kyrie Irving. I'll start naming all the best basketball players and they'll all be black. But once you start saying, oh, well, small hats pretty much have a real good stronghold on Hollywood, media, banking, law, medicine, billionaire status hood. I mean, pretty much anything you want, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. Kanye, you got to start name dropping. And this is why you have to have real niggas in your corner. No disrespect to Sneako, but I mean, he hasn't really had that much life experience. He definitely hasn't lived a black experience like Kanye has. So my thing is he's talking about building up black and doing black this and black that. And all the people that you brought to the Timcast podcast were white or appeared to be white. Okay. I know people go say, oh, well, Nick Fuentes. Okay. He's a white Latino. Okay. He looks white, whatever. I don't even think he speaks a lick of Spanish. I don't know. But it's just not making sense. It's just not making sense. He's talking all this blackety black, we're the true Israelites, but then you don't see him with no black Israelites.
You said debanked or what did you say happened to you? Or
demonetized, deplatformed.
Demonized, demonetized. And what's so...
Yeah, and he doesn't really... I don't think he really understands the issue of demonetization not only on YouTube, but on TikTok and other social media platforms like Instagram as well. I don't think he really understands, because the label is the one that's pushing his buttons. Like, you go to Kanye West YouTube right now, hell, shit, his shit's still monetized. Okay, I go to a Kanye West song, Kanye West Vivo, or even Kanye West main page. Like, if I'm going to all his pages and I'm not on my premium YouTube account, all his shit's monetized. All his shit's monetized, but that money is going to the label. All that money is going to the label. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna click on his latest song and see what the comments looking like. Not many recent comments. Not many recent comments. Okay, 2 days ago, 1 day ago, watching Ye walk out on Tim Pool was the best thing I've seen all year. That's funny. 3 weeks ago, I love how the video game is so legit. Oh, I don't know what the fuck they talking about. I guess this is. What is this? I guess this is a vlog or something. Anyways, let's keep going.
Beautiful about this time is everyone got to see what's really been happening. And now we can really understand. We can see that Ron Emanuel was right next to Obama, and then Jared Kushner was right next to Trump.
But so we're getting right into it, I guess, right? I was hoping to go for the news first before we got into all of this stuff. I think the issue is one way to put it is you're expounding upon a localization issue that you've witnessed, right? Let me clarify. There are a handful of people that you see are Jewish in a certain place, and then you associate Judaism with the power, whereas I view that.
Okay, so it's a little deeper than that. It's a little deeper than that. I think Tim Pool is kind of minimizing the situation. The reality is, when getting into these industries, there are kingmakers, and all the kingmakers, or the majority of them, goddamn, are small hats. That's the main thing. Okay, it's not that every person in Hollywood is a small hat and whatnot. No, it's that the guys who have the most power are small hats. And I mean, you can say whatever the hell you want. We're not really associating it with the religion per se, but the extremity that they're taking it and the way that they look at it is, like I said, there is a certain superiority complex coming from those individuals who get to that elite level of power. And it's not just the small hats, but it just so happens that they're in the top, industries of everything that fucking matters in this world right now. And they're controlling, quote unquote, controlling the narrative. This doesn't mean that every freaking small hat is involved in this. It just means the top of the top, just like when we read The International Jew from Henry Ford. The top of the top are definitely in positions where they are running shit. And obviously we're not trying to make broad sweeping generalizations and just say, oh, well, there's something nefarious coming out of this community. No, it's just the same with it's the same with Islam. Okay, there's some people who are radical Islamists, radical Muslims. Okay, and they want to blow shit up. They want to perform jihad or whatever the fuck is going on. And then you have radical Christians. Okay, people who are I remember Lupe Fiasco said this bar on this song he made called American Terrorist, and he said it was a Christian organization trying to poison the water supply to make the second coming quicker. So you would say, oh, well, that's radical as well. And then you have these Ashkenazi, quote unquote, what they would identify them as Zionists, small hats who are pretty much they're working to get in these positions of power They're using their networking abilities to do so. And they're completely, creating the narrative for dominant media and the masses to consume. I'm not going to necessarily say, oh, it's a conspiracy. No, it's just that rich people talk, rich people stay together, and rich people bring their own up. Okay. It's the same concept. All right. So it wouldn't be outlandish to say, hey, man, you look at Iraq right now and they're tripping over, the woman not covering up and shit like that. And you could say, man, shit, those fucking radical Muslim leaders over there are fucking out of their minds. And nobody would bat an eye because it's about women's rights and all this kind of stuff. But then you come over here and say, hey, man, these small hats, they're promoting LGBT, transgender shit, and pornographic content into mass media. And then you're saying, oh, well, don't that's anti-Semitic that you're saying this about them. And it's like, yo, I mean, if every fucking movie that's coming out is about some fucking gay dude who just decided, who woke up yesterday and realized that he wants to be a bitch and start taking it up the ass and shit, then you're gonna say, hey, well, it seems like this is a common theme in Hollywood. So let's keep watching.
That as not relevant to it. Like, yeah, you're substantially more powerful than I am, but I don't view what you're doing as an issue of black people.
Yeah, but have you ever heard the term the black vote? So it's okay to put us in one net, but it's not okay for me to put them in one net.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's the basis of the hypocrisy that people.
That's the real shit. That was some real shit that Kanye said. That's some real shit. You can say the black vote. You can say, even though black on black crime is like starting to get controversial to say. I mean, it is controversial. That's why my channel got demonetized. But you can still say that. You can say black entertainment. You can say all this shit. All right. Even the Jewish organizations name their shit. Oh, the Jewish this, the Jewish that. But why don't they call it the Semitic this, the Semitic that? Because then that groups in a whole lot of other people who they don't want involved in the situation. Capiche?
People have been thinking about and knowing about and realizing for decades. We were all wondering how this dam was going to break. Everybody in the country was wondering, what is the root of this hypocrisy? Why can people talk about white people a certain way? Why can't they talk about that group a certain way?
Yeah, you can definitely shit on white people.
And the wretched and wicked and oppressive prevailing orthodoxy of cancel culture. Well, it turned out that the one thing that was going to break the dam was the biggest star in the world, and it took the biggest star in the world to do it. And now the dam is broken.
So let me tell you my issue. I don't like identitarianism. You guys are familiar with what that is?
Well, they started it, and they've been visiting on us. We're trying to break it.
When I was asking you about running for president, you immediately said, well, you'd be good for the black vote.
Yeah, if Tim Pool said that to Kanye, that's crazy. So it sounds like he's referring to an off-camera conversation where Kanye made Tim Pool aware that he planned on running for president, which I strongly advise against, just like Trump strongly advised against. I mean, you're not going to win, Kanye. Even the presidency, it's about bloodlines. But anyways, and Tim Pool responds, oh, well, you'd be great for the black vote. He's not wrong. But that's like a little tone deaf, I would say, to say the least. Okay, that's a little tone deaf. P. Ann makes a great point. He says, what about the Jew vote? We can't say that. Yeah. How would Kanye be with the Jewish vote? But you can't really say that, right? But you can say, oh, well, you'd be great for the black vote, but, anywhere else, you're going to struggle. That's basically what he's saying. You'd be great for the black vote, but my white ass ain't voting for you.
And I said, is that because I'm black? No, not just because of that. So is that, are you doing the same thing?
Yeah, no, it is because you're black. But I don't even think he would get the black vote, honestly, especially if he ran under a Republican ticket. Just like they're doing to Herschel Walker now. Everybody loved Herschel Walker until he ran for Senate. Nobody gave a fuck about him putting hands and feet on his wife or, paying for a bitch to get an abortion done. I mean, shit, to us, before he was trying to run for Senate, That would be some player shit. I mean, you got rappers, you know, rapping about giving a bitch money to pay for an abortion and all types of shit. So, I mean, he has a good point there.
I didn't say that was the only reason. I said it was because you're personable to the common person. And
the common person is not black, though, in this country.
You probably would do well with the black vote. Absolutely.
Just because I'm black, because a lot of black people don't like me.
Of course. I think race plays a role in a lot of things. Absolutely. And I think that's for.
So he said race plays a role in a lot of things. Now he's conceding to race realism. But I thought we were just all people. And I mean, look, I think if Kanye would have sat down for the full duration of the podcast, he would have been able to, I mean, not single-handedly defeat Tim Pool's arguments, but over time with Nick Fuentes butting in and Milo butting in, because right there they should have stopped him and said, what do you mean by race, you know, plays a big role in it? Well, I thought we were all just mankind. So you admit that there is some validity to race realism, and then they could have gone through that loophole there.
I think the construct of race has really been forced upon us as just something for us to be woke about and just constantly talk about and use it as these like walls.
Could you say the same thing about Judaism?
Well, let's look at the facts of what I'm saying, though. If you say in this neighborhood where they gerrymander, there's this amount of time. So, hey, I wasn't doing that. I was just gerrymandering the lawyers and the Hollywood executives and the people at the bank that debanked me and then froze my accounts. You know, it's like we want to jump into protecting the idea that we can't put a net around something, right? But that's been my job as a producer, to take, you know, a Roy Ayers sample and put a James Brown drum.
So he's making a music reference, which I don't think is really good to do. I mean, when you're talking to people who are not in your world, you have to speak like them, not the other way around. But Nate Campbell says you have that female rapping about getting an abortion, twerking in front of Planned Parenthood facts. Nate Campbell said with Nick and Milo's help, Kanye would have looked a lot better than just walking out facts. Cyrus Cherry said that walking out thing made Kanye look so weak. I mean, it also makes him look disrespectful. Trump always took the heat and he had to suffer through worldwide exposure. Facts.
Drum and put it within a 2 minute, 3 minute song. That's the way I actually think. And that's the way I talk. And now this morning I found out that they were trying to put me in prison because what they did was I moved $140 million into JP Morgan. And I said, I want to talk to Jamie Dimon. Like, look at me. I'm just going in naive, you know, multi-billionaire, like maybe.
And Tim Pool, he got the little beanie on the @ sign on his little panel here. It's pretty reminiscent of the Small Hat Gang. But I mean, I think that he went into this conversation with good faith, but he was really trying to I think especially when like niggas do that, oh well, I think it's just identitarianism. Do you know what that is? Like, I hate when niggas do that shit. Like, oh well, I think it's this. Do you know what that means? Like they try and say a word that they think they know for a fact that you don't know what it is. And I'm not saying that these guys didn't know what it is. I mean, it's obvious. You know, you're kind of basing one thing off of somebody's identity rather than their individual actions. But like for him to just go, oh well, you know, I think it's identitarianism. Do you know what that means? It seemed a little condescending. So that's a point there too.
Jamie Dimon will let me in on some deal flow. Wrong. And I'm just like banging my hands like, I want to meet with Jamie. And I start complaining online, and then they debank me for complaining. And so I'm about to get debanked. They're like, you need to go to.
Yeah, debanking is fucking insane. If they can debank Kanye, they can debank anybody, especially you black men. Okay, y'all niggas finna start getting debanked like a motherfucker.
Trump's the bank, AXO, whatever, you got to go. And I'm like, I've been trying to buy my own bank for the longest. And then we figured out how to get my own bank. It's like 50 million, 75 million. So I'm about to buy my own bank. But then as you're about to take the money.
And see, this is what's going to happen too. He's going to buy his own bank. Then he's going to, you know, hire some individuals to run the bank because, you know, he don't know shit about banking. And they can potentially run that shit into the ground if he doesn't hire the right people. Like, he could hire people who were literally put there to sabotage the bank. That's how deep this shit gets.
Money out. Here comes Adidas with a $275 million bill for marketing funds that they agreed upon. Because I said to them, hey, I'm the marketing, give me the marketing fund, which proves by the response they got when they, you know, stole the designs and said, we're going to not call them Yeezys anymore. So this is what I was already fighting Adidas for. So I'm fighting Gap, get out of Gap, fighting Adidas. And then I deal with this little bit of noise from, you know, Zionism from the fashion world, where they use this plant named Gabby, who's obviously like some kind of CIA agent, knows nothing about fashion. This is a certain thing. When someone can't dress.
When he mentioned Gabby, what's the last name? We don't know who Gabby is. We need last names, bro. We need last names. Jay Lou says Cyrus is batting 1,000 tonight for real. Alphazo says this whole Kanye should be a wake-up call situation. He said, you got to watch people who aren't yes men like Tim Pool. Tim's channel is basically a confirmation channel for Republican fanatics. I'm over the grifters and political theater. Jay Lou says banks can't exist as a bank without the ability to borrow money. Who is going to lend Kanye's bank money? We'll all wait. Exactly. P. Ann says Tim Cass can't let a guest have an opinion and move to the next subject. He's always saying I disagree and talks in circles the following 10 minutes. He has no skills regarding steering a convo.
Yes, you know that they're not like a fashion person. They're just there as like the society, like the control that they try to use with celebrities, which has now been broken, right? Because you know where it broke. Okay. I want to get on like LeBron in a second, but I'm going to come back to this and just talk about this morning where, you know, I'm not going to mention her name because she's a nice lady, but someone at Cohen Resnick tells me, and I tell all of my finance people, never use the term a lot, but they said, okay, you're going to have to pay a lot of taxes. And that made me feel like they're just like waiting, like we finally got them. We finally can put them in jail. And I was like, can I?
Yeah. And they're bleeding Kanye's pockets. They took the Adidas deal. All the designer brands are breaking ties with him. You know, everybody is breaking ties with him. You know, he's owing 50 million, 75 million in taxes. And then Kim Kardashian is receiving $200,000 a month from him in child support. Why the fuck does she need $200,000 a month from him when she's a billionaire? Dude, are you fucking kidding me? It's absolute bullshit.
Still run for president in jail. I found out I could. So I was like, okay, that's fine then. It'll be okay.
But if you were Jeffrey Epstein, they wouldn't touch your bank account. They would allow you to break the rules, regulations.
Absolutely. Shout out to Luke Radowski. I mean, I think it would have been better if Tim Pool just would have, you know, sat back and let Luke run this show. I mean, Luke is a fucking professional. He knows what the fuck he's doing. So shout out to him.
Just like JP Morgan and Chase did, just like Deutsche Bank did. So there is an issue to bring up with that. But when it comes to the race stuff, I think this is an important discussion to have because I
have to complete this thought. You guys got to.
Okay, go ahead. All
right, because I'm talking about literally finding out that they were trying to put me in prison this morning. Watch this. So
this morning.
Yes. So not come to my house this morning, but I found out, okay, so they put a $75 million hold on 4 of my accounts.
$75 million hold on 4 of the accounts. That's crazy.
And then they said, you owe a lot of taxes. Took me like 6 hours to find out how much a lot was. They said, well, around $50 million. Now I'm going to different CFOs like, okay, so would this be tax evasion? Because I'm obviously not the most financially literate person on the planet. I was just a child, basically. Like when you become famous, you stop growing at that point.
So you heard what he said. When you become famous, you stop growing. You start doing what people tell you to do in order to keep your career flourishing. Basically, they put they put your life on autopilot, and they say just go to the studio and make good music and come back out.
Became famous at age 24, and I had handlers around. I had my mom around, different things, and it was always like you go from one handler to the next handler to the next handler. So now I'm having I get to actually learn how to run a company. I get to learn how to to count. Really, I was like Pablo in a movie. It was like I didn't even know where to put the money, like literally making $300 million cash, but you're just like a high priced, we're not going to use the S word just because it's just like too passe to use it. But it's like next year I was supposed to make $500 million in royalties. And like no one needs this amount of money. But when I would work on homeless shelters and ideas, I'd have a contractor. We won't say what race.
Contractors, they're in real estate too.
And they'd be tearing down the contracts. It's all about, position. It's not about the amount of money that you have. And
yeah, that's 100% right. He's 100% right. At some point, the money doesn't matter, because if you can't get shit done with people get shit done, not money. People get shit done. You pay people to do things, they get shit done. If the people are refusing your money, like they're starting to do Kanye, you can't get anything done. So it doesn't matter how much money you make, because your money is not legal tender to them.
To come in here, I feel like it's a setup to be like defending. I'm not going to go through another, like I'm literally going to walk the F off the show.
So you hear him. I mean, nobody's even challenging him right now. And he's like, I'm not going through this again. I'm going to walk the F off the show.
If I'm sitting up here having a, talk about, you can't say that it was Jewish people that did it, when every sensible person knows that. I mean, Jon Stewart knows what happened to me, and they took it too far. It was like American History X. Like my head was on the side of the curve, and the exact people that I called out kicked my head. We found out that my trainer was a MK Ultra Canadian.
Yeah, we broke down Harley Pasternak. Okay. Which I don't know how you look at me, my personal training shit, that nigga's not touching me, bruh. That nigga's not touching me. And I debated a physical trainer yesterday on my Reclaim Your Throne channel. All respect to Dr. Ko, but athletically, he's not touching me either. And these guys are put in position, not Dr. Ko, but Harley Pasternak is put in position to be a celebrity trainer. But if he's a celebrity trainer, and I heard he trained Lizzo as well, like, bruh, this nigga trains Lizzo and she's still fat. How is he a good trainer?
Intelligence.
He worked in the defense research and development in the Canadian military, essentially working on psyops.
Who's this
in the
guy?
Canadian military. This is Harley Pasternak.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been,
yeah, that nigga would have been a shell. He would have been a shell.
He was deeply troubled. We miss him.
He would have been Aaron Carter.
Love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean, look.
They would have Michael Jackson,
or worse. Yeah.
So look at what they did. Look at what they did to Britney when she went.
Look at what they did to Britney Spears. Look at what they did to Amanda Bynes. Okay, all these people in conservatorships don't have access to their own money. They were the stars. Now they're fucking lunatics.
Went in. She was tired. She was
Doja Cat. Fucking lunatic.
Obviously, she was in a bad way, but 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain. You can see it now.
Yeah.
You can see there's not much of her left.
You mentioned Pasternak was the name?
Yes, Harley Pasternak.
He's also a small hat.
That's the text message that you posted that we were talking about before.
Here's the lobotomy.
Yeah.
Before the show, obviously, I'm getting a bunch of messages from people. People are hitting me up, and they're like, "You shouldn't host them. They're anti-Semitic. They're white supremacists. They're racist." I do find the idea. I do find it funny or weird or whatever that, you know, Nick, they call you a white supremacist. You're here working with or for, you know, one of the most powerful black men, one of the wealthiest and most famous. But a lot of people were saying on the right specifically, don't platform them. And I said, well, I want to understand what they're thinking and why they're thinking it. They're they're involved in what may be the biggest news story of the past week, and we have an opportunity to sit down and talk.
Because the red media controls both sides. It just said it as simple as possible. Jared Kushner,
facts,
was next to Trump. Rahm Emanuel was next to Obama.
But see,
since 1940, go ahead.
I was gonna say, isn't that an issue of these individuals? Like you're extreme.
Is that an issue of these individuals? Luke Radowski has done some great work on George Soros, as we know. Also a small hat. Rockefellers. I mean, look, bro, nobody is trying to say this is the whole group. The whole group is this. The whole group is that. But it wouldn't be a stretch to, like, when we talk about statistics, like if I come out and say black people are 13% of the population, but they're responsible for 60 to 70, maybe even more percentage of the violent crime in the United States. Oh, well, those are just these individuals. Well, that was just this guy and the school shooter here, Timothy Simpkins. It was just him. And then, oh, well, this black guy who did this was well, okay, no, you have to identify the issue so you can present a solution. So the issue here is the small hats run the media. The small hats run all the social media platforms. They run all the worldwide media broadcasting platforms. They run Disney, Universal, the music the music labels. So they run that. Now we make the observation. Now we look for a solution. Well, how do we bring more diversity to this situation? Okay. How do we make it so that there are more people from different organizations or groups represented in this hierarchy? And then you'll see how difficult it will be to do that because they run everything. So, and I'm not trying to demonize these small hats. I'm not trying to say that they're piece of shit people and and they don't deserve what they have. Not saying that at all. I'm just saying Kanye is not wrong. And Tim Pool is just sitting here like, oh, well, it's these individuals. Well, yeah, I mean, you group people in. Okay. When we talk about slave masters, we're talking about Southern whites most of the time. Okay. Nobody bats an eye when you talk about that. Nobody says, oh, well, it wasn't all white people. Well, I mean, I know you got some white people saying, oh, well, my family didn't own slaves. Then for sure. Okay, cool. Then we're not talking about you. If the shoe doesn't fit, then don't wear it. If you're not a hit dog, you won't holler. But now you have Tim Pool giving pushback, which, he has the right to do. And I think Kanye should have defended himself instead of walking out. But it's like, bro, if I show you that everybody in Disney, in an executive position at Disney, is a small hat, you still won't believe me. If I show you that everybody in an executive position at Universal is a small hat, you still won't believe me. If I show you that when we go look at these companies in Silicon Valley, that everybody is a small hat, you still won't believe me. So then there's no point in having the conversation. So I understand why Kanye walked out conceptually, but I don't agree with the fact that he did.
I'm going to order with the last of my money that's available in a different account. I'm going to order a PJ before I sit and have another Lex Friedman setup conversation. When I'm literally they're trying to put me in jail for my opinion. But I get that. I'm not going to have that opinion. I don't care about people. Those are bots that are trying to tell you. We realize, look at.
He got that bot term from Sneako. So Sneako's influence rubbing off on Kanye.
Pence, he sold Trump out. You get what I'm saying? It's like I would have never wanted to do anything that hurt Trump. I'm on Trump's side. Trump said things that hurt me. He lied about me, but I mean, he's known for lying. And when people used to tell me that, you know, he's a liar, it's like, you know, I went into the trenches for Trump. That's another conversation. There was no one in my position that wore that hat. And all of my surroundings exhausted me. It was like death by 1,000 questions. I know I'm jumping to another thing, but what I'm saying is I know you got a rep for your people online, but it's you got a person in real life that I'm not with it, bro. I lost the money for the freedom of speech. And that's what makes me the only American that we know that really deserves to run the country, because everyone else.
I ain't gonna lie, my nigga Kanye's knuckles is a little ashy.
Your boy DeSantis, Trump, whoever they
you seen Nick Fuentes nodding
to run the country, because everyone else, your boy DeSantis, Trump, whoever they raising a petri dish over on the Democrat side is going to play the game.
Look,
and
here's what I was trying to get to. You went right into the anti-Semite thing. I think it's something that should be talked about. But if you start bringing this up, you're going to ask my opinion on it. I'm going to disagree with you.
I didn't ask your opinion on it. You jumped into it.
But
I don't care about your opinion. I like your opinion on how we win an election, but I don't care about anybody's opinion, bro. I lost. They tried to put me in jail. They blocked $2 billion I had. Like, but I told Farrakhan, I said, look, is it anti-Semitic for me to say his name out loud? Like, I told
minister.
Yeah, the minister. Like I told
Obama met with him too.
Oh, he was. Yeah, I mean the Jewish people allowed Obama.
Yeah, Obama met with him too.
To meet with the minister. You know, so Farrakhan said, well, did he have the money? The contract for the next 4 years, if I hadn't done anything, would have been $500 million.
Yeah, he should have shut the fuck up for 4 years. Honestly, he should have got that bag. He should have got the cash. He should have made as much money as possible and then come out with this shit. Honestly, stay off the drugs, stop taking pills, make your money, you know, go back to Wyoming, sleep for 4 years and wake up a new man. That's what he should have did. He fucked up. He dropped the bag. No cap.
Year for 4 years. What I was fighting for was the IP. So my children could, I'm sorry, just sometimes I think about 7 thoughts at one time, because anything I see, I come up with like 7 answers to it and then just choose what it is. But the thing is, when I said my children, the reason why my brain kind of blocked, because it's like God is saying, you know, your children are going to be okay. Baby mama's got money, right? God is using me.
You heard that. Your children going to be okay. Baby mama got money. Then why the hell are you paying her $200,000 a month? That's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Breaking me down, removing all of the, richest person, all of this, so I can serve him.
And when it comes to a debate, I'm not big on God and bringing God into it. I mean, let's just, stick to intellectualism. I know you want to get spiritual on this shit to, have your fans bug out and spam fucking crosses in the chat, but let's just keep it to the conversation at hand. Like all this, oh well, God is using me and this and the third, bro. We looked at the Sunday service shit and it don't look like God showed up.
And the more and more those things are taken away from me, the more I can be empty and be a vessel and be able to be used. And right now it's like, you're not going to take, if we can't, you're not going to take my pain away, right? The Jewish people say it's the Holocaust, this happened, and you can't say anything about it. We can't take their pain away. No one's going to denounce the fact that they tried to lock me up. That's what, because every time I'm just holding stride, and it's like, I thought I was more Malcolm X, but I find out I'm more MLK, because as I'm getting hosed down every day by the press and financially, I'm just standing there. And when I found out that they tried to put me in jail, it was like a dog was biting my arm, and I almost shed a tear, almost, but I still walked in stride through it. Yeah,
I think they've been extremely unfair to you.
Who was they though? We can't say they.
Yeah, see, Tim
Tim Pool fucked up there. I think they've been who is they?
Corporate press. I'm not using I don't use
the press. Come on, G.
The word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm talking.
It is
about
them though, isn't it? I mean, because
it's absolutely them.
No, and because when you think about it, consider it. In 2018.
What do you mean it's not?
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about you leave?
He said, "What do you mean it's not?" And then he was done. Watch.
What do I mean? Like,
right before Nick was finna break it down and name drop, I believe he was gonna name drop. What do you mean it's not? And then walks off. God damn it, Kanye, you're in your own fucking way.
Consider it. In 2018.
What do you mean it's not?
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about you leaving?
Are you referring to the press?
I thought he was gonna steal off on Tim Pool right there. When he came in frame, I thought he was just gonna steal off on him like that new no jumper interview.
How about
he threw the you could hear he threw the headphones down.
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about you leaving?
Are you referring to the press?
He's gone. I'll say it right now. You got
now he gets bold. He loved that. He loved every minute of that. Oh my God.
You guys want to bring that stuff up? And then
have
think
the
we're not gonna
discussion.
have a conversation?
Like have the discussion.
Like you think Ye's going to come in here and say, here's my pain, here's my suffering. I'm going to say, I hear you. And then he's going to say, and it was Jewish people. And I'm going to be like, okay, but don't you consider, so I'm not going to do this. I refuse.
Make sure he's cool.
All right, go for it. Luke and I will have a conversation. So I can't say I'm surprised. What do I even do? Other than ask him, please elaborate on this. Are you referring to individuals? Or are you quite literally blaming an entire group of people?
Oh my God. I mean, look, like I described before. Okay. This is how you got to explain this. There are elite white people, right? Who could be racist. And they find other elite white people to perpetuate racism, okay? Just for the example, so everybody's comfortable with it, because it's so easy to just say, oh, white people are racist. No, we're not talking about all white people. We're talking about these white people who are perpetuating quote unquote racism. The same with the small hat shit. No, we're not talking about all small hats. I mean, my elementary school principal was a small hat. I was friends with his daughter. They were great people, so on and so forth. Okay. We celebrated Hanukkah. We spun the damn menorah or some shit. So yeah, everything was Gucci. Now, when we talk about these music executives, media companies who are run essentially by small hats, they have pulled each other up into positions of power because they have certain beliefs, okay, that make them feel like, or at least their interpretation of their beliefs make them feel like they should be in a superior, I guess, situation. The way that I described it on my last podcast is that they want to control the narrative of the media so that they can lead your children astray, so that they can lead what they call the goy of the goyish. They can lead them astray because they're not God's chosen people. All right. Now, I'm not saying that these people believe or are worshiping God either. Okay. Because I believe that they are a secular, occultic, like, at least the people who are in, these positions of power, not the normal, common, Jew or whatnot. And even those normal, common Jews will say, hey, I don't necessarily like the way that the country of Israel is handling the Palestine situation, or, hey, I don't like the way that, these executives are running these companies and promoting these, Masonic morals, if you will, onto society. But this is what it is. These individuals who are in positions of power have taken an oath amongst themselves under, maybe it is the religious flag, or maybe it is a secret society flag. You can't deny the fact that there are secret societies. If anybody's in these secret societies, it's these media executives. And it just so happens that the majority of these media executives are small hats. Like, I mean, I don't really know. I don't really know how to. Oh, the dreidel. I spun the dreidel. Okay, yeah. Is the menorah the candle shit, right? I don't know, guys. Anyway, I spun the motherfucking dreidel. Okay. We was chilling with the Jewish people in elementary school. That's all I'm saying. So we're not talking about the common people. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to translate this for Kanye and them because I guess Kanye is too immature to have the conversation. And Nick Fuentes, I believe, was about to explain it, but he wasn't able to.
For the fact that powerful individuals are causing you harm.
I really wanted to ask Nick about his thoughts about MLK because I know they contradict his comments about that. But again, these are mass generalizations that don't really help anyone in my perspective. They just kind of sound like their opposition. They sound what they're kind of going against, the woke mob that's always saying white men are responsible for everything. When I see people just use generalizations, it kind of cheapens the conversations. It cheapens a dialogue that we could have here that I was planning to talk to Ye about, specifically bringing up like, hey, let's actually talk about this in a real concise way. Let's not get emotional. Let's not walk out of here. Let
me tell all you guys outright. I said, this is going to be a big issue. Before the show, obviously, people are going to bring up the questions of anti-Semitism. Why don't we talk about the news? I want to hear what happened with this meeting. I want to understand what Ye 24 is. And then we can do a longer conversation about any of that stuff. And Ye literally in the first 5 minutes says, no, I want to talk about a group of people and point to them. Whatever, man. This, you want to know why? Look, you're not going to sit here and you're going to walk out of the room. You're free to do so, man.
Yeah, and saying that they're the total issue, I think, is wrong. Putting the sole blame on the small hats is wrong because they need people to participate. They need people like NBA Youngboy to participate. They need people like Chief Keef. They need people like Young Thug. They need these useful idiots who will do anything to make $1 million. They need these people. So it's not them alone. We're also perpetuating the negative stereotypes. But god damn, I mean, shit. We've been over this shit before. They control the media point blank. There's no question about it. If I have to bring up that article by Joel Stein from fucking 2008, I will again. December 19, 2008. Who really runs Hollywood? Come on, ? By Joel Stein. I'll bring up the article again from the LA Times, but I mean, it's really not even a question. It's really not a question. But I think if Kanye doesn't know, for one, if he's not reading the Torah, if he's not reading the Talmud, and if he's not really digging into why these things are the way that they are, and if he can't explain and articulate and have the conversation, it's a big issue. And I don't think that he deserves people to just jump on the bandwagon and follow. Now, if he says something right, I'll stand on it. If he says something wrong, we'll stand on it too. I think that he's wrong for walking out of this interview. I think he could have articulated himself and name dropped. And I mean, when it comes to this type of shit, you can name drop all day long until the wheels fall off. I mean, damn near everybody in the music video in an executive position is a small hat. It wouldn't have been hard for him to do. It wouldn't have been hard for him to do at all. So definitely something that Kanye, I think, took an L on. Obviously, his contemporaries do not agree, but we can agree to disagree. We'll let Tim Pool finish his last thought, and then we'll get up on out of here.
But literally, I said a couple sentences about, I don't think that's fair. Did I insult the man? He seriously can't handle. He can't handle it.
He also left during the Pierce Morgan interview he did, but he came back. So again, we should be able to have this conversation. What's up, Chris? Oh, yeah.
Look, man, I wanted to talk to these guys about why they're meeting with Trump.
Chris.
I want to know what happened with the dinner because we hear a lot of rumors about it.
I want to hear about their 2024 platform, which they were promising, which they were talking about, like they're going to be officially.
Let me explain to everybody that, unfortunate they walked out. Fine, maybe they'll come back. Whatever. This is the biggest challenge with dealing with identitarianism. I do not believe that the predeterminate factor in someone's worth, value, or agenda is based on immutable characteristics. Kanye is a black man. He does.
It's based off of secret societies and blood ties, and they don't let certain people get into this group unless you have this blood tie. So, I mean, it's just like the I mean, even in the early 19th or even in the early 20th century, where you had the Prince Hall Freemasons who were trying to get into Freemasonry, and they weren't able to establish their own lodges because they weren't white. So these were black men who were trying to become Freemasons and whatnot, and they were not allowed. So it was very much about bloodlines. And then they realized, hey, you know, this is inevitable. Black men are going to end up creating their own lodges, whether we like it or not, and creating their own teachings and their own disciplines and their own rituals and their own oaths. So let's just bring them in so that we can control them. And that's what you see today. You know, a lot of these guys who are, you know, in fraternity, sororities, whatnot. I mean, honestly, it is what it is. They're participating in Freemasonry, you know, but you know, hey, whatever floats your boat. But I'm just saying, like, there's levels to this shit. There's degrees to Masonry, and these individuals who are in these high positions of power are at the highest degrees of these secret societies, if you will. And, you know, they just so happen to only allow certain people of a certain background to get into those positions. So it is what it is, bruh.
Does not represent all black people. There are Jewish individuals who work in banks. Dave Chappelle made the joke about Jewish people in Hollywood. And he said, but it doesn't mean anything. You got a lot of black people in Ferguson, doesn't mean they run the place. The point is, I'm all about individualism, meritocracy, personal responsibility. That means an individual of any background can be capable of anything. More importantly, we have employees here who are...
But what if those individuals make a concerted effort to come together and conspire against everybody else? Just some food for thought.
Jewish who spend time in Israel and would probably agree with a lot of issues that they would talk about, especially as it pertains to America first, you know, bringing jobs back here and securing our borders. But then it's just like every step of the way, it's like, bro, if you live in a world where a single group of people is haunting you, you're trapped. You're not going to get out.
Oh God. My nigga must have never been to the hood.
The issue is you can overcome anything. I understand, you know, and I empathize that there are powerful business interests that are coming at Kanye. And I will also say this, because I wanted to get into the Trump stuff. When Kanye mentioned he got suspended on Twitter, then he gets word that Milo wants to meet up with him. Then Milo puts him in touch with Fuentes. My immediate, question is, okay, my thought to myself, we really want to know about the inner details of this Trump meeting. I guess it's not going to happen. My question then is, don't you think that, if Kanye is going to say these things and then immediately start getting involved with Fuentes, that only amplifies the accusations made against him?
Well, Fuentes was canceled by the dominant media and or the red media, as Kanye likes to call it. And Fuentes actually was on Adam 22's No Jumper. So are we giving him the same criticism as we're giving Kanye?
But I guess if they genuinely...
Oh, they're saying Tim Pool grew up on the south side of Chicago? Okay. They said, nah, he was from Chicago. All right. I didn't know that.
Believe these things, that's who they are.
I was dying to interrupt. I was dying to say a whole bunch of stuff during his, his conversation. I respectively, didn't. I was waiting to counter back, but we didn't even push back at all. Really, we didn't even really say anything.
I mean, if he's from the south side of Chicago, then he knows that yes, a certain group of people can definitely be haunting you. May not be for your whole life, but in this certain area, they can definitely haunt you. So it's safe to say that, hey, in the area of banking, medicine, media, that the small hats can definitely haunt your ass. I don't see why it's so difficult to come to that conclusion, you know?
Thing
come on,
crazy
man.
out there. I mean, come on, like we should at least have the tough conversations. We should debate these ideas.
What does he think's going on?
And I don't know, but
what does he think's going on? Dude, Luke knows exactly what's going on. He just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to hone it down to just one specific group, which I definitely get. But he knows exactly what's going on.
I just wish
he speaks about the same shit that Sneako was speaking about earlier, the child sacrifice and the rituals and all that kind of. He speaks about the same shit. I think Luke and Kanye need to have a conversation alone because Tim, I think Tim was just a trigger for Kanye.
People were again like, hey, you don't agree with me 100%. That's fine. That's okay. I'm not going to run away. like, come on. Let's have this discussion. Let's have this conversation. I really wanted to talk about Balenciaga. I really wanted to talk about Harley Pasternak. I really wanted to talk about Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle talked about, a lot of the things that Ye was warning about, specifically with people trying to drug him, specifically with people trying to, of course, get him on big.
Harley Pasternak is a small hat reminder.
Pharma medicines. He was, again, sent to, he was institutionalized a couple years ago, specifically on November 21st, 2016. He's pointing a lot of this blame on this Harley Pasternak guy who, again, he's the one who's training Lizzo, Elliot Page.
He's training Lizzo. That shows you how shit of a trainer he is. I mean, why is nobody pointing out the fact that Harley is also indeed a small hat?
Training Brittany Murphy. He trained a lot of controversial figures, and he is connected to Canadian military psyops.
And he is also Juice Crew.
That's like, we should know what else is happening behind the scenes there, what else he knows. But
Before the show,
we can't even get that.
Before the show, Ye was like, this was funny. He's like, how do I become president? How do you win? And I thought it was a rhetorical question because, like, why would I know that question? And he was like, hey, man, I asked you a question. What do you think? And I was like, oh, ballot harvesting, like hands down. You go to door to door. He brought it up when he mentioned that I said that he would do well with the black vote. I feel like that's kind of oversimplifying what I said.
All right, the rest we don't really care about. Kanye's gone. Anyways, my ultimate message, Sneako, if you're watching, if you see this, bro, be careful. Kanye is a ticking time bomb. And, I like Kanye. I love Kanye. I love college dropout. I love graduation. I even fucked with Yeezus, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Wasn't big on the Donda. Wasn't big on the Jesus is King. And I wasn't big on the there was another one. I like The Life of Pablo. But I didn't like that collab that he did with Lil Pump. But hey, be careful. Stop dick riding. I mean, Kanye will definitely. I mean, you see how emotional he is. I think Kanye is definitely still dealing with these issues. He's speaking more fluently and cohesively more than he was a couple years ago when he went into the TMZ office. But man, I mean, the brother he's fucked up mentally. He's fucked up mentally. I'm not saying he's crazy and he's, violent, homicidal, suicidal, anything like that. But what I am saying is, he's still a little immature. Still very immature. Okay. So anyways, that is pretty much it. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Support the channel. Hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Trap. As you guys know, I'm demonetized on all platforms. So I'm not getting any type of compensation for doing these streams. So least you guys could do is support the merch, join the Patreon, where my message will live on, because I'm eventually gonna stop posting on YouTube because I mean it's just fucked. Like they don't want me here. Why am I here? So y'all gonna have to go to the Patreon eventually. I'm still posting on Rumble as well. So shout out to me on the Rumble. Join the Discord so that we can have a chat. But other than that, I think I'm about to get up out of here, guys. I appreciate everybody joining the stream. You already know what it is, man. It's the Black Gen Z Mindset, aka BGZM News 17, aka Jenquavius Jackson, and we are going to send it to Jenquavius Jackson to take us away. Peace, guys. Hey, make sure you leave a comment right after the stream ends. Love.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all killing me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more
shit
do
off.
you want from me?
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.